The Marquis's manor has a strict family rule. Any man who wishes to marry a primary wife must stand blindfolded before the ancestral hall and draw a bow. An apple is placed as a target outside. If he misses the shot, he must wait until the following year to try again. But the young Marquis, who could pierce a leaf with an arrow at 12, missed the target for 3 consecutive years. The first year, he said his hand slipped. I comforted him, telling him to try again next year. The second year, he said the wind was too strong. I told him not to be discouraged. In the third year, I could no longer hold back my curiosity. I quietly went to the ancestral hall of the northern Marquis's manor, wanting to watch him practice. But I unexpectedly overheard a conversation between Xiao Jingyu and his friend. Jingyu, you missed again this year. That act of your hand trembling was quite convincing. Xiao Jingyu's lazy voice drifted out. Well, obviously. If I actually hit it, I'd have to marry Huan into the family. Don't you want to marry her? I do, of course I do. Xiao Jingyu paused for a moment. But what about Ruru? Outside the window, my fingers dug into the wooden frame of the curtains. Xiao Jingyu's voice grew deep. My heart isn't made of iron. I promised Huan a lifetime as a couple of 2. But I also can't bear to let go of Ruru. But what about Miss Shin? She has waited for you for many years. If you don't propose soon, it'll be too late if she agrees to someone else. She won't. Xiao Jingyu's tone was certain. Huan loves me so much. She would never marry anyone else. I plan to stall for a few more years. When she gets a bit older, and her temperament isn't so stubborn, she will naturally agree to let Ruru enter the household with her. By then, I'll be able to have both of them. The two of them immediately burst into laughter. I felt a chilling cold through my entire body. I walked out of the ancestral hall in a daze. I only remember that on the way back, it suddenly started to rain. I didn't have an umbrella. Rainwater mixed with tears and streamed down my face. The day after I returned home, news arrived that Yuanru was betrothed to the capital's #1 delinquent, Gu Xiai. Xiao Jingyu could no longer restrain himself and went to snatch the bride. That very night, the two of them held their ceremony and entered the bridal chamber. The entire capital was waiting to see me and the Shin family become a laughingstock. To everyone's surprise, the next day, the heir Gu Xiai climbed over my wall. He looked straight at me and said, "Since Xiao Jingyu stole my wife, I want you to compensate me by becoming my consort. Is that too much?" I nodded. It's not too much. He probably didn't expect that I would actually agree to such an absurd condition. Gu Xiai stood there with his mouth open, stunned for a long time. He stammered. You said it. In 3 days, I'll come to marry you. You can't go back on your word." After saying that, as if afraid I would regret it, he hurriedly jumped down from the wall. As he left, he even stumbled slightly, nearly falling down. I watched the scene with amusement, finding that he wasn't as unbearable as the rumor suggested. On the contrary, he was a bit cute. Shortly after Gu Xiai left, Xiao Jingyu arrived. My expression immediately darkened. "Young Master Xiao, why are you here instead of staying home with your wife? What do you want with me?" Xiao Jingyu's face stiffened, and he forced a fawning smile. Huan, I didn't want it to be like this either. But Ruru has such a soft nature. I couldn't just stand by and watch her marry that degenerate. Otherwise her whole life would be ruined. So you can bear to watch me and the entire Shin family become a laughingstock in the eyes of everyone else? From the moment he went to snatch the bride, all affection between us was severed. "Master Xiao, please leave. Our engagement is hereby cancelled." Xiao Jingyu frowned, trying to reach for me. Huan, stop making a scene. Even if I married her, it won't affect our relationship. Ruru is so kind. When you marry in, she won't make things difficult for you. I just have to ask you to be a concubine for now. Once we have children in the future, I will elevate you to the status of an equal wife. Both you and Ruru will be my wives. At that time, I won't have to lie to anyone. To ask me, the eldest daughter of the Shin family, to be his concubine, how could he even say that? Even if I were willing, the ancestors of the Shin family would never allow it. I took half a step back, looking at him coldly. A daughter of the Shin family will never be a concubine. Seeing my refusal, Xiao Jingyu's expression turned displeased. It's just a title. Besides, even as a concubine, I would never let anyone look down on you. Why must you make things so difficult for me? I was making things difficult for him? I almost laughed out of anger. Who exactly was it that committed the absurdity of snatching a bride right before our wedding? Who held a ceremony and married someone else, causing me and the entire Shin family to become the target of everyone's ridicule? And yet he has the nerve to blame me for making things difficult? I looked at him mockingly. I'll say it again. The daughters of the Shin family will never be concubines. Having been denied repeatedly, Xiao Jingyu also lost his temper. His face darkened. Shen Qinghuan, you are being completely unreasonable. Everyone knows you've been close to me since childhood. Your reputation is already tied to mine. Without me, let's see who else would marry you. With that, he flicked his sleeves and left in a rage. I trembled all over with anger, and a sense of desolation welled up in my heart. I knew that the Xiao Jingyu who once saw only me, the one who couldn't bear to see me suffer even a bit of grievance, was dead. The man before me now is merely Yi Wanru's husband. Ever since he ignored me for the sake of Yuanru, and trampled my sincere heart under his feet. I should have let go. But I wasn't reconciled. We had over 10 years of history together. I didn't believe it couldn't beat the mere 6 months they'd known each other. The truth proved me wrong. Gusiai gave me no time to change my mind. The next day, the Gu family arrived to formally propose. There were 108 chests of betrothal gifts alone, filling my courtyard to the brim. My parents didn't think highly of Gusiai, and urged me to reconsider. But my mind was made up. I must have either love or power. Though Gusiai had a bad reputation, he was the future heir to the ducal manor. If it weren't for the Yi family's legitimate daughter refusing to marry him, this marriage would never have fallen to Yuanru in the first place. Just as I was about to have the gifts moved to the warehouse, Xiao Jingyu walked in with Yuanru. Seeing the scene, the two of them misunderstood something. Xiao Jingyu tilted his chin, wearing an "I told you so" expression. A flash of greed crossed Yuanru's eyes. Sister, is all of this your dowry? Yuanru was the child of Master Yi, and a maid after a night of drinking. She had always been ignored in the Yi family. On her wedding day, Madame Yi had dismissed her with a single chest of copper coins. I frowned and denied it. Xiao Jingyu let out a cold chuckle. Stop pretending. You said yesterday you wouldn't marry. Yet now even the dowry is prepared. Yes, once sister enters our household, we will be family. Brother Jingyu, humph. Didn't you also prepare a gift for sister? Hurry up and take it out. Yuanru urged him eagerly. As she moved, a flash of green passed before my eyes. I stared straight at her, stunned for a good while. The Xiao family has an heirloom jade bracelet, intended for the future daughter-in-law. After I found out about it, I had hinted at it to Xiao Jingyu many times. He always avoided the subject, simply refusing to give it to me. I never expected it to be on Yuanru's wrist now. Yuanru noticed my gaze, and intentionally pulled up her sleeve a bit more. Reminded by Yuanru, Xiao Jingyu pulled a face, tossing a wooden hairpin from his robes toward me. He looked as if I were getting some incredible bargain. This is for you. Looking at this crudely made hairpin with peeling paint, I let out a mocking laugh. He was so generous to Yuanru, but so stingy with me. I handed the wooden hairpin back. No need. Such a fine thing should be kept for your Miss Yi. Xiao Jingyu's face instantly turned ugly upon hearing my words. In a fit of rage, he snatched the hairpin back and threw it out the window. If you don't want it, then throw it away. Yuanru stomped her foot delicately. Sister, Brother Jingyu and I picked this out specifically for you. It was a token of our sincerity. By the way, sister will be joining us in 2 days. This is a wedding dress I sewed for you personally. Please accept it, sister. As she spoke, she took the pink wedding dress from her maid and held it out to me. I laughed out loud in anger, witnessing what true shamelessness looks like. I looked at the smug Yuanru, finally understanding their purpose today. They wanted to put me in my place before I even entered the house, but they didn't ask if I would agree. In front of Xiao Jingyu, I emphasized once more. I said, our marriage is off. If you two have nothing else, please leave. But clearly, neither of them took my words seriously. Yuanru grabbed the clothes and tried to force me into the inner room. Sister, don't say such angry things. I don't know if this dress fits. Why don't you try it on first? I impatiently pushed her away. Get lost. Don't touch me. I only meant to push her back. I didn't use much strength at all. Yet Yuanru, holding the dress, fell backward dramatically. She landed on the ground, and tears quickly pooled in her eyes. I'm sorry, sister. I only wanted you to try on the dress. I didn't mean anything else. Seeing this, Xiao Jingyu gave me a fierce shove. Shen Qinghuan, this dress is something Ruru stayed up for 2 nights to finish. She did it out of kindness. And this is how you treat her? A jealous woman with no tolerance like you deserves to be unwanted. You can just grow old and die alone. With those words, he picked up Yuanru and walked out without looking back. Yuanru turned back and gave me a smug smile. This scene reminded me of the first time we met. Back then, she was just an insignificant daughter of a concubine in the Yi family. At a banquet, her elder sister treated her like a servant. She accidentally spilled wine on her sister, was slapped across the face, and was forced to kneel in public. Xiao Jingyu couldn't stand the elder sister's bullying, and stepped in to help. Later, fearing she would be targeted again, Xiao Jingyu always gave her extra attention. He'd give her the best food and toys first. I was often jealous because of this. He always said with a smile, I just think Ruru is pitiful. At first, I also thought he was just acting out of sympathy, when he paid so much attention to Yuanru. Until that day, when Yuanru was forced to marry Gusiai, Xiao Jingyu ran off to snatch the bride. Afraid of any further complications, he married her that same day, sealing the deal. Only then did I realize that without me knowing, Yuanru had long ago taken a place in his heart. It was I who was naive to think he was truly just being kind by giving her special care. The day before my wedding, it happened to be the annual Lantern Festival. It was also my favorite day. Every year before this, Xiao Jingyu would accompany me to release lanterns. This year was the first time I came alone, but when I walked onto the street, I saw the entire street was empty. All the roadside vendors were gone. Just as I was wondering why, I heard two women gossiping incessantly. Young Master Xiao really spent a fortune. He said to please his wife, he bought up all the lanterns on the entire street. Exactly. If I were Madame Xiao, I'd be moved to death. That's not all. Young Master Xiao didn't hesitate to offend the heir for her sake. And even made the eldest Miss Shen settle for being a concubine. If I could meet such a man, I'd be willing to stay by his side for 3 years even in widowhood. Hearing this, I curled my lips mockingly. Just as I was about to turn back, a familiar voice came from behind. Sister. I instinctively turned around. And saw Xiao Jingyu and Yuanra standing nearby. She ran toward me holding a lantern. Sister. Are you here to release lanterns too? Xiao Jingyu was still angry about yesterday's events. He gave a cold snort when he saw me. Yuanra boastfully handed me the lantern in her hand. I'm sorry, sister. Brother Jingyu. Bought every lantern on this street. How about I give this one to you? No need. I took half a step back, fearing she would frame me again. Besides, I don't have the habit of using things others have used, whether it's people or objects. Xiao Jingyu's face instantly turned cold upon hearing that. And his voice was laced with sarcasm. Miss Shen would never look twice at our things. Just leave her be. Ruru, let's go. With that, he grabbed Yuanru and headed for the riverbank. After they left, a man dressed as a steward approached me. Miss Shen, the heir asked me to give this to you. I looked in surprise at the lantern in his hand. It was crafted in an exquisite and clever shape. At the bottom, written in ink, was the character Huan, in a wild and free-spirited calligraphic style. It was the most beautiful lantern I had ever seen. In the end, I couldn't bear to release it into the river, and instead took it home with me. The next day, the maids woke me early to comb my hair, and put on my wedding dress. Only then did it finally feel real. I was actually getting married. I wasn't marrying the childhood sweetheart I'd longed for all these years, Xiao Jingyu, but the capital's notorious playboy heir, Gu Xi. To say I wasn't nervous would be a lie. I took a deep breath, since I had made the decision. No matter what the future held, I would walk this path unwaveringly. Once I was fully dressed, the wedding procession arrived. But to my surprise, the one who came wasn't Gu Xi, but Xiao Jingyu. Looking at that small pink sedan chair, and the procession of fewer than 20 people, a look of disbelief flashed in my eyes. I thought I had made things clear enough to Xiao Jingyu. The Xiao family's betrothal gifts had all been returned to him. What was the meaning of this today? Before I could even ask, Xiao Jingyu's face changed the moment he saw me in my phoenix crown and red robes. Shen Qinghuan, who told you to dress like this? I am taking a concubine today, not marrying a wife. Go and change out of those wedding clothes this instant. Confronted by his baseless reprimand, my anger flared up. Xiao Jingyu, I've told you many times already. Our marriage is off. The person I'm marrying today isn't you. My husband will be here soon. Take your people and leave at once. Xiao Jingyu let out a disdainful sneer upon hearing that. Enough. If you keep acting, I really will leave. Ruru entered the household before you. So it's only right she is the primary wife. I also said, once you bear a child, I'll promote you to equal wife. Are you really that desperate to take her position? I rolled my eyes. This was purely his own delusion. When did I ever agree to this? Just as I was about to speak, a sudden burst of ceremonial music sounded from behind. Xiao Jingyu looked back. Is someone else in the Shen family getting married today? The words had barely left his mouth when Gu Xi came riding at the front, bringing his horse to a stop right before me. Seeing Xiao Jingyu and the small procession behind him, Gu Xi raised an eyebrow. Oh? Is Master Xiao trying to snatch my consort? A look of astonishment flashed in Xiao Jingyu's eyes when he saw him. His mind couldn't quite process it. Suddenly realizing something, he looked at Gu Xi warily. I was just about to ask the heir, what are you doing here with so many people today? Gu Xi flicked his riding crop, wearing a punchable grin. Picking up my bride. What else? Xiao Jingyu was stunned, a sudden bad premonition welling up in his heart. When he spoke, his voice trembled slightly. What did you mean just now? By consort? Gu Xi curled his lips mockingly. Just as he was about to answer, I cut in first. Xiao Jingyu, he is my husband. The person I am marrying today is him. That's impossible. Xiao Jingyu's face went pale, and he practically roared these words. We have had a marriage contract for a long time. How could you possibly marry someone else? So he finally remembers we had a marriage contract. But who was it that broke that contract first to marry someone else? Meeting my gaze, Xiao Jingyu finally reacted. A flash of panic appearing in his eyes. The fear of losing something precious swept over him. He pointed at Gu Xi. Huan, I know you're upset that I married Ruru. But you can't impulsively marry someone like him. Do you even know what kind of man he is? Who in the capital doesn't know? Gu Xi is a notorious delinquent. He frequents brothels, has no learning or skills, and spends his days idling with other noble sons. How can a man like that give you a stable life? You will ruin yourself if you do this. Huan, come back with me. I'm begging you. A flash of displeasure crossed Gu Xi's eyes as he heard this. He toyed with the handle of his riding crop, the atmosphere around him growing several degrees colder, yet he patiently looked at me, handing the power of choice over to me. I was already weary of Xiao Jingyu's constant interference. The last shred of lingering affection in my heart had been ground away to nothing by his actions these past few days. I took a step forward, shielding Gu Xi, and looked at Xiao Jingyu with a cold, sharp gaze. Xiao Jingyu, I know exactly what I am doing. I'm not marrying him out of impulse, but as a well-considered decision. If you truly mean well for me, then stop this nonsense. Let us each find our own happiness. Gu Xi was pleased by my words. He reached out and put his arm around my waist, pulling me into his protective embrace, then looked mockingly at Xiao Jingyu. Did you hear that, young Master Xiao? My Huan said she wants to find her own happiness. Don't make a fool of yourself any longer. Just then, the matchmaker arrived at the auspicious hour to urge us on, waving her red silk handkerchief. Consort, the auspicious time has come. It's time to enter the sedan chair. I moved past Xiao Jingyu, about to take the matchmaker's hand, when Xiao Jingyu suddenly rushed forward. He grabbed my wrist tightly, his fingertips turning white with the force. He squeezed so hard it hurt. Huan, come with me. I won't let you marry him. You can only marry me. Gu Xi narrowed his eyes, the chill around him instantly intensifying. He instinctively gripped his riding crop tighter, pointing the tip directly at Xiao Jingyu's face. Is Master Xiao planning to snatch the bride? You already stole my fiancé once. Do you really think I, Gu Xi, am an easy target? Xiao Jingyu's eyes were bloodshot and he looked half mad, completely disregarding the crowd's gaze or the Xiao family's reputation. So what if I am? As long as I can take Huan back, I'll do anything. Gu Xi dropped his playful demeanor, letting out a cold, sharp laugh. With a slight flick of his wrist, the riding crop cut through the air with a sharp whistle, sweeping past Xiao Jingyu's ear. Several strands of hair from his temple were sliced off, startling him into instinctively letting go of my hand. Then first you'll have to see if the whip in my hand agrees. And if the men behind me agree, will these 100 or so guards of the wedding party agree or not? The atmosphere was suddenly tense, with the air itself smelling faintly of gunpowder. Surrounding guests and neighbors gathered around, pointing and whispering. But no one dared to step forward to mediate. Last time, because of Yu Wanru, Xiao Jingyu had already completely offended Gu Xi. Seeing this, the Xiao family butler broke into a cold sweat, and rushed out from the crowd to pull him away. Young master, don't be impulsive. Let's go back and talk about whatever it is. Today is the eldest Miss Shen's big day. Don't make things too ugly. Get lost. Xiao Jingyu shoved him away. The butler stumbled back as Xiao Jingyu reached out toward me again, his eyes filled with a mix of begging and humility. Huan, as long as you're willing to come with me, I'll agree to anything you want. I can divorce you, Wanru. I'll only marry you in this lifetime. I'll never let you suffer even a bit of grievance again, okay? I looked at him coldly, my heart completely still, filled only with endless disappointment. I only hope you can stay away from me from now on. Xiao Jingyu, it was over between us long ago. This sentence was like a sharp knife, stabbing fiercely into Xiao Jingyu's heart. His pupils shook, unable to believe what he had just heard. The color drained completely from his face, and his entire body froze on the spot. After stalling for so long, Gu Xi had long since run out of patience. He gave a signal to the guards behind him. Two tall guards immediately stepped forward, grabbing Xiao Jingyu firmly from both sides, holding him so he couldn't move no matter how he struggled. Seeing the sedan chair's curtain being lifted by the matchmaker, I was helped up and stepped inside. The moment the curtain dropped, I heard Xiao Jingyu's broken roars, one after another, heart-wrenching and agonizing. Huan, don't go. Huan, come back to me. Shen Qinghuan, you can't marry him. I didn't look back even once. Ever since he chose Yi Wanru, ignored our marriage contract to snatch a bride, and vowed in marriage with her, we were completely finished. Those 10+ years of affection were misplaced after all. The sedan chair swayed all the way, amidst the festive music, finally arriving at the heir's mansion. Large red silk ribbons hung across the gates, decorated with lanterns and streamers, filled with joy, even more lively than I had imagined. Gu Xi took my hand, and just as we were about to step over the brazier at the gate, the sudden sound of urgent horse hooves came from behind, accompanied by a roar. Huan. Wait. Without looking back, I knew it was Xiao Jingyu who had caught up. Gu Xi patted the back of my hand reassuringly, lowering his voice. You go in first. Trust me with him. I won't let him disturb our wedding feast. After a second's hesitation, seeing the conviction in his eyes, I turned decisively and walked into the mansion, leaving the commotion behind me. A moment later, Gu Xi walked in. Besides his hem being slightly messy, and some dust on his cuffs, he wasn't injured at all, wearing a bit of a nonchalant smile on his face. True, this was Gu Xi's territory, the heir's mansion of the protector duke. There was no place for Xiao Jingyu to run wild here. The guests in the mansion had been waiting for a long time. Under the witness of relatives and friends, Gu Xi and I bowed to heaven and earth, and to our elders. Finally, during the exchange of bows between husband and wife, I became the rightful consort of the heir. After entering the bridal chamber, The red candles burned brightly, casting a crimson glow everywhere. I looked at Goosey Eye before me, my heart full of apology, whispering softly, "I'm sorry about today. I didn't know he would cause such a scene and spoil your mood." Goosey Eye took a step forward, reaching out to gently brush a stray hair from my temple, interrupting me. His tone was gentle. "It's fine. In the end, the one who married you is me. That little episode is nothing." I gave him a grateful look, and was just about to say something else, when the moment I looked up, Goosey Eye suddenly leaned down and planted a kiss on my lips. His lips were warm, with a faint scent of wine. He smiled with total satisfaction. "Juan, I won't let you regret choosing me. Never in this lifetime." My face flushed deep red, from my cheeks all the way to my ears. My heartbeat unknowingly began to quicken, thumping like a trapped rabbit. Goosey Eye didn't give me time to react, reaching out to pick me up in his arms, walking toward the canopy bed covered in red bedding. The red candles flickered. An evening of tenderness. Amidst the rising and falling was all his gentleness and care, not at all like the rumors of his wild and unrestrained character. The next morning, I was awakened by a general soreness throughout my body. Propping myself up while holding my waist, I couldn't help but grumble in my heart. Didn't they say Goosey Eye was a regular at brothels and lingered in pleasure houses? How is he like a green lad who just got his first taste, never knowing when enough is enough? Goosey Eye was already nowhere to be seen in the room. Only warm tea and pastry set out on the table. I was just about to get up and find him, when the voices of two maidservants, talking quietly outside the door, drifted into my ears. Every word clear. "Have you heard? Young Master Shao knelt outside our heir's mansion all night yesterday. He said he wouldn't get up until the consort forgave him. He knelt all night in the freezing cold. His knees are all scraped up. Right? Just now, his wife, Yu Wanru, showed up. Seeing him kneeling there refusing to leave, she started a fight with him on the spot. The two of them were shoving each other, nearly coming to blows. The scene was beyond embarrassing. Wasn't it said that young Master Shao loved his wife dearly? He snatched her away from our heir back then, and married her that very night. How is he pining for our consort now? You don't understand, men are just like that. What they can't have is always on their mind. Once they have it, it loses its novelty. Yu Wanru was just a temporary novelty for him. The consort is the one truly in his heart. A pity he pushed her away with his own hands. The voices outside faded away. I stood there stunned for a good while, my heart without the slightest ripple, only a sense of indifference. Xiao Jingyu made his own choices. The bitter fruit he has now is his to taste alone. Not until Goosey Eye walked in carrying a bowl of warm lotus seed porridge, and saw me standing by the window, speaking softly. Juan, why didn't you sleep a bit longer? Are you feeling unwell somewhere?" I shook my head. Couldn't sleep. I woke up and decided to get up. Goosey Eye stepped forward, picked up a spoon and blew on it, then brought the porridge to my lips, his eyes gentle. "Hungry? The kitchen made this porridge specially for you. It's soft and sweet. Try some." With a red face, I opened my mouth and swallowed it. The sweetness of the lotus seeds mixed with the mellow aroma of the porridge, melting in my mouth. Goosey Eye didn't mention Xiao Jingyu's situation, so I didn't ask either. From the moment I decided to let go of him, to me, he became just an insignificant stranger, not worth another moment of my concern. After finishing breakfast, Goosey Eye took my hand to take me to serve tea to my parents-in-law. They were both gentle people, and didn't mention Xiao Jingyu's scene yesterday at all. My mother-in-law held my hand, her eyes curving in a smile, as she slipped a white jade bracelet onto my wrist. The cool sensation touched my skin. "You are a daughter-in-law of our Gu family now. Goosey Eye has a restless nature. If he ever bullies you, just tell me. I'll take care of him for you." The Duke also nodded, sternly instructing Goosey Eye to treat Juan well from now on. Stop fooling around like before. Live a good life. Goosey Eye agreed repeatedly, tightening his grip on my hand, his eyes full of sincerity. "Don't worry, mother, father, I will definitely cherish Juan. I'll never let her suffer a bit of grievance." In the following days, Goosey Eye truly did as he said, staying by my side constantly, accompanying me in the garden, reading with me, and trying all the snacks in the mansion with me. Seeing this, the maids and servants in the house couldn't help but show knowing looks. I was badgered by him so much I had no choice but to push him away in annoyance. "You are the heir of the Protector Duke after all. There are so many matters in the mansion for you to handle. Don't always follow me around, go take care of your own business." But Goosey Eye shamelessly leaned in and hugged me from behind, his chin resting in the crook of my neck, his voice soft. "Accompanying you is the most important thing to me right now. As for mansion business, the butler and my parents are keeping an eye on it. I don't need to worry." We were this affectionate for 3 days, until it was time for the return to the bride's home visit. Goosey Eye prepared generous gifts, and took my hand as we boarded the carriage back to the Shin family. Just after getting off the carriage, from afar I saw a figure rushing toward me. Coming closer, who could it be but Xiao Jingyu? He had dark circles under his eyes, a bruise on his cheekbone, a cut on his lip, and several faint scratch marks on his face. He looked extremely disheveled, likely from a fight with Yuanru. Seeing Gusiai holding my hand, his eyes instantly turned red. His footsteps halted on the spot. And he looked at me with complex emotions. I frowned, let go of Gusi's hand and stepped forward, my tone distant. Is something the matter, young Master Xiao? A flash of pain appeared in Xiao Jingyu's eyes. His voice raspy. Huan, what happened before was my fault. I was muddled. I was wrong to you. After you married him, I finally understood. How much the matter with Roro hurt you. I know I was wrong, Huan. Can you forgive me? I nodded faintly. The matter is in the past. There's nothing to forgive or not forgive. Xiao Jingyu's eyes instantly lit up. Thinking I no longer blamed him, he quickly took a step forward. Urgent now. Huan, I've already brought up the matter of divorce with Yuanru. I was never sincere with her in the first place. Only you are in my heart. Can you give me another chance? Divorce Gusiai and come back to me, okay? Hearing this, Gusi's face instantly turned green. He stepped forward to shield me behind him. So angry he grabbed Xiao Jingyu by the collar, his fist clenching with a crackling sound. Seeing it about to land, I quickly pulled his arm. ACI. Don't be impulsive. I looked at Xiao Jingyu, my tone serious. Saying word by word, Xiao Jingyu. When I said in the past, I meant that the matter between me and you is over. The page has turned. We are both married now. And have our own lives. Stop saying such things. It only embarrasses yourself, and makes others unhappy. With red eyes, Xiao Jingyu refused to give up, pointing at Gusiai indignantly. But you won't be happy married to him. He's just a playboy. He has no idea how to cherish someone. I don't mind what happened between you and him. Divorce him. And I'll marry you immediately. I'll only be good to you in this life. Huan, I beg you. Whether I'm happy married to Gusiai or not, I know it in my heart. His gentleness, his true self, and the fact that his whole heart is on me. That's enough. As for Xiao Jingyu, his words, I don't believe a single one. If he could betray me for Yuanru back then, he could betray me for someone else in the future. Knowing there's muddy water ahead, why should I insist on stepping in it? I shook my head, looking resolute. Xiao Jingyu, we aren't children anymore. We must be responsible for the things we've done. Since you married Yuanru, you should live a good life with her, and fulfill your duty as a husband. That's best for you and for her. Gusiai and I are doing very well, so don't bother yourself with it. Hearing my answer, Gusiai gave a satisfied cold snort and warned Xiao Jingyu. Did you hear clearly? If I catch you pestering Huan again, don't blame me for being impolite. I won't give any face to the Xiao family. After speaking, he put his arm around my waist and turned to go inside. Xiao Jingyu roared behind us, unwilling to let go, his voice full of despair and resentment. Why, Shenqing Huan? Why? I grew up with you. You said you were going to marry me. How could you? 10 years. How can you be so heartless? My footsteps paused. A trace of melancholy passing through my heart. When my heart first opened to love, I indeed told him with full joy that I would marry no one but him. But hearts can change. A person's life is long, and one faces many temptations. He couldn't guard his own heart or keep our promise. That being the case, how could I be the one breaking my word? I didn't waste any more words on him. Pulling Gusiai into the Shin family gates, closing his roars out behind us. Except Xiao Jingyu didn't listen to a single word said that day. After going back, he and Yuanru fought incessantly over the divorce matter. The Xiao household was turned upside down, becoming the laughingstock of the capital. One day, I went to a gathering of noble young ladies. While everyone was sitting together, drinking tea and chatting, Yuanru suddenly burst in, her clothes untidy, and her hair disheveled. Without a word, she knelt before me, crying heart-wrenchingly. Sister, I beg you, give brother Jingyu back to me. Without him, I really won't be able to go on living. Yuanru cried with snot and tears, looking like a rain-beaten pear blossom. Everyone's gaze instinctively turned toward me, filled with curiosity and inquiry. I frowned, my tone cold. Get up first. Whatever you have to say it properly. But she shook her head, kneeling firmly on the ground, looking at me through tears. No, if you don't agree, I won't get up. Sister, brother Jingyu only has you in his heart. Ever since you got married, he hasn't even looked at me properly. He hasn't touched me for over half a month. And he wants to divorce me for your sake. Jijian, you already have the heir. Why do you still want to steal from me? She reached out to grab the hem of my skirt, but a trace of calculation flashed in her eyes. Likely, she wanted to stage an incident, to give me a reputation for bullying the weak. Seeing more and more people gathering around, and the whispering growing louder, I didn't want to engage with her in this setting. Just as I was about to leave, Wanqin suddenly stepped out from the crowd, quickly walking over and grabbing Yuanru by the ear, scolding her sharply. Yuanru, do you think you haven't embarrassed yourself enough? What kind of scene are you making here? Get up right now. Yuanru grimaced in pain from her ear being pulled. Seeing Wanqin, she shrunk her neck, whispering timidly, Big sister, don't call me big sister. I don't have a shameless sister like you. Yu Wanqing looked disgusted. Dying for the sake of a man. Running here to make a spectacle of yourself. You've thrown away the entire face of our Yi family. Yu Wan'er wanted to say more. But Yu Wanqing found her too humiliating, giving a signal to the maids behind her. A maid immediately stepped forward to cover her mouth, and forcibly dragged her out. After this incident, I had no mood to stay any longer, bade everyone farewell, and returned to the heir's mansion. Soon, Xiao Jingyu learned of that day's events, and angrily locked Yu Wanru in her courtyard, forbidding her from going out, fearing she would run to me again to spout nonsense. My heirs were finally at peace for a few days. Just when I thought everything was over, and life could proceed stably, I suddenly received a letter from Xiao Jingyu, sent by a messenger. The handwriting was messy, with only a few words. Guxiai, Yanqun Tower back door. Come quickly. Yanqun Tower was the biggest brothel in the capital, and also Guxi's favorite place to visit in the past. Thinking of the romantic rumors about him, my heart skipped a beat. An uneasy feeling welled up in my heart, and as if possessed, I still changed into simple clothes, left the mansion alone, and walked toward Yanqun Tower. Reaching the back door, I saw Xiao Jingyu already waiting in a carriage, with a smile of certain victory on his face. Seeing me, his eyes shone strikingly, as if he had finally caught Guxiai in a mistake. His voice was tinged with excitement. Huan, I told you Guxiai wasn't a good man. In just a few days, his true colors have been revealed. I just received news. He's currently drinking with several playboys in Yanqun Tower, with women in his arms. Quite the happy time. If you don't believe me, I'll take you to see right now, and let you see his true face clearly. I suddenly felt like retreating, afraid I would really see something I shouldn't, and afraid my choice was wrong after all. But my feet wouldn't listen, and I followed him onto the carriage. Along the way, my heart was incredibly heavy, as if something was blocking it, making it hard to breathe. Knowing Guxiai went to Yanqun Tower felt 100 times worse than knowing Xiao Jingyu and Yu Wan'er had married. Xiao Jingyu, seeing my foul mood, sensibly stayed quiet. The carriage went all the way to the Yanqun Tower back door, and stopped. I followed Xiao Jingyu unobstructed all the way, to the second floor outside a private room. The door was ajar, and the sounds of laughter and joking came from within. Stepping closer, I heard Guxi's voice, and my heart instantly went cold. But in the next second, I heard him say first, okay, don't invite me to this kind of place next time, I won't come. My Huan wouldn't like it. If she found out, she'd be angry. A teasing voice followed. Oh, the heir just married the consort, and he's already henpecked? This provoked a round of laughter from everyone. You guys don't know. This lad has been pining for Shen Qinghuan since he was small, pining for over 10 years. Now that he's finally married her, of course he treasures her greatly. Isn't that right? Before, anyone who dared mention Shen Qinghuan would face his wrath. When he knew Shen Qinghuan had a marriage contract with that Xiao boy, this lad even hid in his room and cried for days, painting a whole room full of portraits, longing for her through her image. I raised my eyebrows in suppressed surprise, as they said, and I still have an impression of it. For a period during my youth, every single night, a dark shadow would appear on my courtyard wall. I thought it was some kind of ghost, and I was too terrified to sleep alone for a long time. As it turns out, that person was actually Guxiai. Guxiai, I remember now. Back then, you even painted a whole room full of Shen Qinghuan's portraits. Did you ever throw those away? I subconsciously held my breath, leaning against the door to quietly listen to the commotion inside. I heard Guxi's voice, tinged with a bit of tenderness, and a touch of pride. Why would I throw them away? They are all properly stored. That represents over 10 years of my devotion. In the future, when we have children, I'll take them out for them to see. I want them to know how much their father went through back then, just to marry their mother. Ha ha ha. So when Xiao Jingyu was marrying Yu Wanru, and went to snatch the bride, wasn't that exactly what you wanted? Exactly. Guxiai never wanted to marry anyone from the Yi family. That engagement was forced upon him by his parents. He had wanted to cancel it for a long time. Besides, if he hadn't intentionally gone easy, do you really think Xiao Jingyu could have taken her away from him so easily? He was just waiting for that opportunity, so he could marry Shen Qinghuan openly and honorably. Xiao Jingyu stood beside me, his face turning various shades of blue and white. He had originally intended to bring me here to catch Guxiai in the act, to let me see Guxi's true colors. He never expected to hear this conversation instead. In the end, it turned out he was the clown all along. He staggered back a step against the wall, his face filled with despair and self-mockery. Too ashamed to stay any longer, he pushed open the door and ran out in a hurry. I stood there, my heart a mix of complicated emotions. It turned out Guxi's feelings had planted their seeds over a decade ago. The kindness he showed me was never just a passing whim, but a long premeditated devotion. Walking outside Yanqun Tower, Xiao Jingyu leaned against the carriage and looked at me, his eyes full of regret. His voice was hoarse. Huan, do you think I'm very stupid? I was the one who pushed you toward him with my own hands, and said so many bastardly things to you. You must really hate me, don't you? As he spoke, a tear of remorse fell. I looked at him quietly. The last trace of melancholy in my heart vanishing into thin air. Xiao Jingyu, I'll admit. I really loved you before. I loved you to my very core. To the point where I even dreamed of marrying you. But that was in the past. Now, I am very happy. Gu Xi is very good to me. I don't want to make him unhappy because of you. So from now on, when we meet, let's act like we don't know each other. Let's just live our own lives, okay? Xiao Jingyu lowered his head and remained silent for a long time, his shoulders trembling slightly. Just when I thought he wouldn't answer, he gave a slight nod, his silhouette looking lonely and desolate. Xiao Jingyu arrived with such triumph, but left in total humiliation. Watching his dejected figure as he walked away, I knew that this time he and I were truly and completely finished. Those youthful joys and obsessions had finally scattered in the wind. I didn't go back to disturb Gu Xi and his friends, but returned to the heir's mansion alone. I went straight to his study. Despite having prepared myself, when I pushed open the study door and saw the walls and shelves covered in portraits, I was still stunned into a daze. Every person in those portraits was me, from my childhood days to my adolescent years. From a blossoming smile to deep, melancholy thought. Every look, every expression was captured vividly and lifelike. Judging by the age of the ink and the paper, these paintings were several years old. Every stroke and line held over a decade of his deep affection and love. I reached out to gently brush a portrait, my fingertips touching the cool rice paper. My heart warmed, and my eyes couldn't help but redden. I don't know how much time passed, but footsteps sounded behind me. Gu Xi walked in, seeing me standing before the portraits. With bloodshot eyes, his face went pale with fright. He hurried forward, holding me nervously and helplessly. Huan, why are you crying? Did I do something wrong? Or did someone bully you? Don't scare me. I have a weak heart. I couldn't hold it back, and buried my head into his chest. I choked out, Gu Xi. I like you. I like you so much. Gu Xi stiffened, frozen for several seconds, before he realized what he had heard. A wave of wild joy surged into his heart. He held me tightly, his chin resting on the top of my head. He kissed me over and over, his voice catching with a sob, yet filled with endless joy. Huan, I love you too. More than you can imagine. I've loved you for over a decade. In this life, and the next. For every lifetime to come, I'll only love you alone. Later, Gu Xi learned that Xiao Jingyu had taken me to Yanqun Tower that day to try and drive a wedge between us. He was so angry he almost ran to the Xiao family to drag Xiao Jingyu out for a beating. He even promised me that although he had been to Yanqun Tower before, it was only to gather with friends, and he hadn't even touched those women's fingers. Fearing I wouldn't believe him, he nearly knelt down to swear an oath to the heavens. I looked at him with amusement. From the moment I saw those portraits, I understood his heart perfectly, and naturally believed every word he said. At that moment, I felt very fortunate. Fortunate that I chose Gu Xi in my moment of despair, and fortunate that after all our twists and turns, we didn't miss out on a future together. Gu Xi completely abandoned his old playboy ways. Every day, besides handling the mansion's affairs and necessary social obligations, he spent every spare moment with me. In the spring, he would pick large clusters of peonies with me in the garden, saying he wanted my courtyard to always have the most vibrant flowers blooming. On summer afternoons, he would move a cooling couch under the grape trellis, personally peel chilled lotus seeds for me, and use a fan to chase away the mosquitoes. During autumn excursions, he would carry me on his back to the mountain top to see the red leaves, saying he wanted to show me all the world's beautiful scenery. On winter snowy nights, he would hold me by the warm stove, telling me embarrassing stories from his youth, until I laughed to tears. The people in the mansion gossiped in private, saying the consort had heavenly skill to tame the former stubborn playboy of the brothels into a gentle and considerate model husband. Even my parents-in-law grew increasingly fond of me. My mother-in-law often took my hand, stuffing various precious jewelry into it, saying she wanted to give the best of everything to her dear daughter-in-law. My father-in-law often sighed with emotion, saying that the Gu family marrying me was Sire's great fortune. This peace was eventually shattered by Xiao Jingyu's obsession. That day, Gu Xi and I were invited to the eldest princess's flower viewing banquet. All the noble sons and ladies gathered together to drink and socialize. It was incredibly lively. I was accompanying several familiar ladies to view the flowers, when suddenly a voice came from behind, familiar yet harsh. Long time no see. How have you been? I turned to see Xiao Jingyu standing not far away, wearing a slightly pale robe. He had grown quite thin, and his eyes were full of exhaustion. Yet he still stared at me intently, as if trying to etch my appearance into his soul. Gu Xi's expression darkened, and he instinctively pulled me behind him. He said coldly, Master Xiao, this is the princess's banquet. Please mind your manners. Xiao Jingyu ignored Gu Xi, and just looked at me, his voice hoarse. Huan, knowing that you are doing well, I am relieved. But I really can't let you go. I have already divorced Yi Wanru. I am free now. Can you give me another chance? The surrounding gazes immediately focused on us. Filled with curiosity and scrutiny. My face burned with heat. Feeling both ashamed and angry. Xiao Jingyu, I have already made it very clear. Gu Xi and I are a harmonious couple. Please have some self-respect. And stop talking nonsense here. But Xiao Jingyu took a step forward. His eyes full of obsession. Huan, I know you still blame me. But I truly know I was wrong. I was possessed by some ghost back then to betray you. Can't you give me one more chance to make it up to you? I can give up everything. As long as I can be by your side. Gu Xi reached his limit. He stepped forward. And smashed a fist into Xiao Jingyu's face. Xiao Jingyu staggered back several steps. Blood immediately seeping from the corner of his mouth. Gu Xi pointed at him, furious. Xiao Jingyu, don't refuse a polite gesture only to be forced. Huan already made it clear. If you persist in this harassment, don't blame me for being ruthless. Everyone around was shocked. By this sudden turn of events, the eldest princess hurriedly sent people to mediate. Lord Heir, Master Xiao, let's talk things out calmly. Don't spoil the harmony of the banquet. Xiao Jingyu wiped the blood from his lip. His gaze becoming even more frantic. He looked at me and roared, Shen Qinghuan. Are you really this heartless? You can just cut off our 10+ years of feelings? Have you forgotten saying you'd follow me for a lifetime when we were kids? Forgotten how I chased away the stray dogs that bullied you? Forgotten the promises we made together? Under the peach blossom trees? Have you forgotten all of it? I took a deep breath, my gaze icy. Xiao Jingyu, all of that is in the past. You were the one who destroyed the friendship between us with your own hands. The moment you bowed and married Yi Wanru, there was no going back for us. Please do not bring up the past again. And do not harass me anymore. After saying that, I pulled Gu Xi and turned to leave, leaving Xiao Jingyu standing there alone, looking like a clown, enduring the strange looks from everyone. Gu Xi held my hand tightly, the warmth from his palm dispelling the chill in my heart. Huan, don't be sad over irrelevant people. I will be good to you for a lifetime. 100 times, 1,000 times better than him. I leaned against his shoulder and whispered, I know. With you here, I'm not afraid of anything. The farce at the flower banquet soon spread throughout the capital. Xiao Jingyu became a laughingstock. People saying he refused to live a good life, and insisted on harassing his already married ex-fiancé. Meanwhile, Yi Wanru's life was not going well either. After the divorce, her reputation was ruined. The Yi family felt she had shamed them, and refused to take her in. She could only go to distant relatives. But living under someone else's roof was not easy. She suffered endless cold looks and difficulties. Later, hearing that Xiao Jingyu was still chasing me, she ran back to the capital, wanting to get back together with him. That day, I was in the mansion teaching the maids to make pastries, when a sudden crying and shouting came from the gates. A maid came in to report that Yi Wanru was making a scene at the door, demanding to see me. Gu Xi's expression darkened. He said coldly, tell her to get lost. Don't let her dirty our grounds. But Yi Wanru refused to leave. Instead, her wailing grew more intense. Her voice became louder and louder, attracting many passers-by to watch. I knew if we didn't let her in, this matter would only escalate, which wouldn't be good for the mansion's reputation. I sighed and told the maid to bring her in. Yi Wanru walked into the courtyard in tattered clothes, her hair a mess, and visible bruises on her face. She looked extremely pathetic. The moment she saw me, she lunged forward, trying to grab my hair, shouting, Shen Qinghuan, you bitch. It's all because of you. You ruined my life. Gu Xi was quick and pushed her away. Yi Wanru staggered back several steps and fell to the ground. She lay on the ground, crying heart-wrenchingly. Shen Qinghuan, what did I ever do to wrong you? Why must you treat me like this? If it weren't for you, Brother Jingyu wouldn't have married me, much less divorced me. I wouldn't have fallen to this state today. Looking at her like this, I felt not a shred of sympathy. This was all her own choice. At first, she intentionally sabotaged the relationship between me and Xiao Jingyu. She chose to marry Xiao Jingyu of her own accord. Falling to such an end now is entirely her own doing. I spoke flatly, Yi Wanru. You know in your heart what you've done. If you hadn't intentionally schemed back then, Xiao Jingyu wouldn't have misunderstood me. You marrying Xiao Jingyu was your own choice. The divorce is also between you and Xiao Jingyu. It has nothing to do with me. You falling to this state today can only be blamed on yourself. Yi Wanru looked up, looking at me with venomous eyes. Lies. It's all your fault. If it weren't for you, Brother Jingyu's heart wouldn't be filled only with you. I won't let you get away with this. Gu Xi took a step forward, his gaze icy. Yi Wanru, if you dare to speak another word of nonsense, I will show you no mercy. Now, get out. Yi Wanru saw the situation and knew that making a scene was useless. She could only give me a fierce glare, crawl back up, and run out in a pathetic state. After this incident, Xiao Jingyu finally quieted down for a while. I thought he had finally come to his senses, and would no longer harass me, but I didn't expect that he would do something even more insane. That day, Gu Xi was ordered to the border to handle military affairs. Only me and some maids and servants were left in the mansion. That night, I was reading in the study, when suddenly I heard a strange noise outside. I thought a thief had broken in, and quickly called for a maid, but after the maid checked around, she found nothing unusual. I relaxed, and continued reading, but not long after, the door was suddenly kicked open. Xiao Jingyu rushed in, his eyes bloodshot, his face full of madness. Huan, I've finally waited for my chance. Guxi isn't here. Come with me. I'll take you to a place where no one will disturb us, and we can start over. I was trembling with fear, backing away quickly. Don't come any closer, Xiao Jingyu, you're crazy. Guxi will be back very soon. Leave right now. But Xiao Jingyu approached step by step, a paranoid smile on his face. He won't be back. I've already arranged an ambush on his path. He's not coming back. Huan, come with me. From now on, we will never be apart again. Seeing his crazed state, my heart was filled with terror. You actually tried to harm Guxi. Xiao Jingyu, you are absolutely unreasonable. At that moment, a hurried sound of footsteps came from outside. Guxi rushed in with guards. It turned out Guxi had long expected that Xiao Jingyu might do something crazy, so he had prearranged guards to protect me in the shadows. Seeing Xiao Jingyu, Guxi's expression was grim. Xiao Jingyu, you have some nerve, daring to break into my heir's mansion, to harm Huan. Xiao Jingyu was stunned to see Guxi, obviously not expecting him to return so quickly. Once he snapped back to reality, he tried to lunge forward to grab me to threaten Guxi, but the guards had already stepped forward to pin him down firmly. Guxi walked to my side, and held me tightly, his voice trembling with lingering fear. Huan, are you alright? Were you frightened? I shook my head, leaning into his embrace. I'm fine. ACI, thank goodness you're back. Guxi stroked my hair, his heart aching for me. It's my fault. I shouldn't have left you alone in the mansion, letting you suffer such an ordeal. He turned his head to look at the pinned-down Xiao Jingyu, his gaze bone-chillingly cold. Xiao Jingyu, you have repeatedly harassed my wife, and now you even dare break into my mansion to harm her. Did you really think my Duke of Jinhua's residence was a pushover? Guards, take him away. Send him to the authorities. I will make him pay the proper price for his actions. Xiao Jingyu was dragged out by the guards. He struggled and roared, Huan, I truly love you. You can't do this to me. Guxi, you villain. Let me go. But his roars had no effect, and he was quickly taken away. Guxi held me for a long time without speaking. I could feel his body trembling. He was truly afraid of losing me. The authorities soon conducted a trial for Xiao Jingyu's case. Xiao Jingyu had trespassed with intent to kidnap, and was also suspected of conspiring against an imperial official. The evidence was ironclad. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. The Xiao family spent their entire fortune trying to save him, by bribing officials. But Guxi had already seen to everything. The Xiao family's efforts were ultimately in vain. The elder Master Xiao couldn't take the shock, and fell bedridden. The Xiao family's business plummeted because of this incident, and soon went bankrupt. The once glorious Xiao family fell into ruin just like that. When Yuana learned Xiao Jingyu was sentenced, and the family was bankrupt, she fell into complete despair. She had no one to rely on, and could only drift through the streets, begging to survive. Once, when Guxi and I were out shopping, I saw her from a distance. She was wearing tattered clothes, her hair dry and yellow, her face covered in filth. She was kneeling by the roadside begging from passers-by, her gaze numb. She no longer had her old pretentious, artificial air. Looking at her, my heart felt not a single ripple. This was the ending she deserved. As the days passed, the bond between Guxi and me grew deeper and deeper. Guxi still pampered me in every possible way, just as before. He remembered all my preferences, would look after me without rest when I was sick, and would find ways to make me happy when I was in a bad mood. We went through many things together, and our feelings became even more solid through it all. A year later, I became pregnant. Guxi was ecstatic when he heard the news. Every day, he looked after me with extreme care, not letting me do any heavy work, and hired the best imperial physicians to check my pulse regularly. Everyone in the mansion revolved around me, fearing I might have the slightest mishap. My mother-in-law even cooked personally every day, making all kinds of nourishing soups, saying she wanted her grandchild to be born healthy. Watching Guxi's busy figure, my heart was filled with happiness. I knew this child would bring even more joy to our lives. After 10 months of pregnancy, I successfully gave birth to a son. Guxi couldn't stop smiling as he held the baby. He named the child Gunyanhuan, meaning Guxi's remembrance of Qinghuan. The birth of the child immersed the entire heir's mansion in joy. My parents-in-law were constantly grinning, always hovering around the child. Guxi transformed into a doting father, unable to put the baby down whenever he had a spare moment. He would often mutter to the child, Huan, look. This is our son. We must protect him together from now on, and protect our home. The child grew up gradually, lively and adorable. His features resembled both me and Guxi. He inherited Guxi's intelligence and my gentleness. Guxi had high hopes for him. hiring the best tutors to teach him reading and writing, as well as horse riding and archery. I would gently accompany them by their side, watching our child grow day by day, and seeing Gusiai still doting on me as he always had. My heart was filled with peace. I knew I hadn't chosen the wrong person in this life. In prison, Xiao Jingyu learned that I had given birth, and that Gusiai pampered me in every possible way. His heart was consumed by regret. He lived in pain and self-reproach every day. He grew thinner by the day, and his mind began to fracture. He would often shout my name at the walls, saying how much he regretted it all, but it was all too late. The mistakes he made would ultimately be repaid with a lifetime. Later, I heard that he got into a fight in prison, and was severely injured. He remained bedridden from then on, his former high spirits long gone. As for Yu Wanru, she was later imprisoned for theft. After serving several years in prison, she remained unrepentant after her release. She continued her life of petty crime, and eventually killed someone during a dispute. She was sentenced to death, bringing an end to her pathetic and hateful life. Time flew by. In the blink of an eye, our son, Gu Nianhuan, had grown into a young man skilled in both arts and martial arts. He passed the imperial examinations, and became a court official, highly regarded by the emperor. Gu Xiai also inherited the title of Duke of Xinhua, becoming the new Duke of Xinhua, and I became the Duchess. Our family lived in perfect harmony and joy, becoming the envy of everyone in the capital. Every year during the Lantern Festival, Gu Xiai would accompany me and our son to release lanterns. He would personally craft for me a unique flower lantern, just like the one before we were married, the one with the character Huan on it. Watching the lights floating on the river, I leaned on Gusi's shoulder and whispered, "ACI, thank you. Thank you for marrying me back then despite everything. Thank you for giving me such a happy life." Gusiai held my hand tightly, his gaze tender. "Huan, I'm the one who should be saying thank you. Thank you for not giving up on me. Thank you for staying by my side all these years. To have met you in this life is my greatest fortune."